after me. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean.
This is Barack L. I'm here with Femigod, and I'm here with Gennye Lion. We were just discussing, some of the greater truths of life, and she was setting a light of light and wisdom on a lot of topics for me. So, Gennye, how are you doing today?
I am great. I'm awesome.
That's good. I'm glad to hear
Yeah,
that.
I'm good. I'm really good.
So, can you give us a little insight to your background and maybe, a little bit uh, revealing on your spiritual path and how you sort of got into the work you got into?
Yeah. So I had the spiritual awakening when I was 23. Before that, I was very into like astrology, and I had had some regression readings, and I had had things that, I was always drawn to it. But I had this spiritual awakening at age 23, which left me quite well shaken up basically, because I left my body in a dream, or like in a sleep, very lucid dreaming. um Left the body, felt very vivid, and basically I went in my consciousness to speak to my parents to say, don't worry, still going to be here, but things are going to be quite different. And my mum was like, okay, no problem. And my dad was more like, oh, what's happening? Are you okay? He was more concerned in this sort of consciousness conversation that we had. And I came back in my body and I woke up. I mean, I was probably away, well, not even less than a minute, and I came back and everything kind of looks a bit different in the room. But from that moment, I knew that that wasn't just an out of body experience. It was really profound. And everything felt so different after that. And I kind of had no one to speak to. I had one spiritual friend at the time, and she was also 22, I think 23. So there we were trying to work it out in 1996. And yeah, so then I moved countries. There was so basically this whole thing felt like it integrated over 2 years or something. I threw myself into more like astrological and esoteric studies at the time. I was immersed with just crystals and like books and cards, and I was reading at the time. It was his name, James Redfield. That book, oh God, what is it called? That really famous book. I can't remember the actual title of it now. Anyway, I was fully into it. Then after that, I think maybe 3-4 years, I was just kind of playing around and learning new things. But I did become a massage therapist, and then I did healing and the mentoring that I do, and soul contract readings and everything else. So I mean, really everything just developed after that. But it was profound, yeah. At
Wow,
that,
that's amazing. Do you,
yeah,
I know you talk a lot about your soul assignment. Could you
yes.
explain that a little bit more? And do you think that that was the beginning at 23 of beginning to be able to find your soul assignment?
Yeah, absolutely. So I do something called soul contract readings, which is a numerology that helps us understand our soul assignment and the soul path. So our purpose, really, the mission that we came here to do, especially as light workers. And the soul assignment will be from the higher plane. Basically, the soul made a commitment to come and embody and execute, if you like, certain things here on planet Earth, being born here. It typically applies to the light workers and star seeds, because it's almost like we volunteered to come to Earth to raise the vibration of the planet and help more people to wake up, and to help them transition into the new world. So it really is an assignment to do that. So I feel everyone has a purpose, whether you are a starseed or whether you are like an awakened, soul that have a spiritual mission, or I feel like we all have obviously a purpose here. Some feel it's stronger than others, and then I would recommend everyone to kind of dive deeper into that, because it doesn't mean everyone has to be like you, or like you, or like me, but they have their own path, or their own maybe niche, or people they should be working with or doing, to help and to raise the vibration and to create a better place. So yeah, I recommend to dive into that.
Yes. Do you think that, I know, so you make this assignment and you choose to come here, you choose to be a light worker, you choose to help and make an impact on this planet. What do you think are some of the biggest obstacles once you're down here to stay with that assignment, or to even find that assignment in the first place? You can get so caught up in this world that you can get completely removed from your soul assignment
Sure.
and completely in the opposite direction even. So what would you say are the main obstacles to not only finding your assignment but staying with your assignment, and how can you overcome those?
So the largest obstacle is actually the human experience, because the human experience can be, if we allow ourselves to be victims of the ego as opposed to following the soul, it can be that we fall into destructive and procrastinating patterns and avoidance and things like that, because of our own human limitations, like lack of worth or lack of confidence or lack of knowing or lack of something. And those are just really an illusion. We make those up ourselves, really, because we are sparks of God, all of us, and we're all 100% capable to have impact and to do the assignment that we came in to do.
Yes.
We just need to understand that those are illusions of the ego. And once we say, aha, that's an interesting pattern over there that is controlling me, we need to commit to clear those, basically. So like commit to say, aha, I am sabotaging my life right now. That is very silly. I need to do something about that. You need to pay attention to what you're doing. I have no confidence to do this. Right, where can I get some coaching or healing to fix this? So like you've got to take action to get better of what it is you want to do. And remove yourself from the guilt to say, oh, I'm not a good person, or I'm not this or that. That's again just the ego, like having a go, trying to keep you small and in suffering. So as soon as we go, that's my ego, then you can take some action and say, actually, you know what? I'm not going to let my ego control me. My soul is going to control me. And then the more you do that, it's like practicing anything. You become very good at differentiating what is what, and then go with the soul all the time and not letting the ego go in, not going into sabotage. And you just get better and better at it, and then it becomes easy.
No.
Practice like everything.
Yeah.
Yoga. If you want to practice yoga, you've got to practice yoga every day, right? To become a good yogi.
No matter what your spiritual practice is, consistency.
Yeah, you just got to get on and do it.
No, I agree. I mean, I think even when things you touched on, deprogramming, I think that's an invaluable thing, looking at your belief structures and really analyzing where they come from. You know, I know
Yeah,
for me, I've had a lot of times to sit there and write things out and examine my beliefs, and you start to notice that even a lot of your most cherished held beliefs are something that somebody implanted in you, whether it's your mother or your friends from childhood, and just looking at that and analyzing it. I mean, it's you can overcome so many obstacles that way because your belief system is the foundation for your actions, you know.
absolutely.
Do you find that when you're counseling clients, do you find that they usually have a harder time finding their purpose initially, or once they've found their purpose, continue staying aligned with that purpose?
So what often happens with the people that come to me is that they feel like blocked in some way. They just feel like they don't really know what their purpose is, or they know they have something very important to do, but they're not really sure what it is. And then what happens is that when we do the energy clearings, divine healing, light body activations, and all these wonderful things, their connection to their higher self becomes so strong that they get the picture. Like they just go, oh, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. So they get clarity from the clearings. So it's like a beautiful dance between the energy clearings, the connection, and then they start creating something. So this would typically look like this. I'm working with one lady at the moment who she's still a consultant and she works in a corporate environment, but only like 2 days a week. And she's a teacher and doing presentations and things in there. So she's doing the work with me, and now she's getting lots of downloads about her business and how she can bring. So she's also a healer. She's learned to become a healer. How she can bring her old knowledge from being a teacher and a consultant together with healing, and even she gets images of different sacral geometry and all sorts of things, and just coming to her while we're working through. So we're doing 6 months, and she's just getting all the time, every week, new things are coming. So it's almost like she committed to doing clearings and to connecting in this way, and therefore she gets real clarity. So it starts when you start doing the work. In this case, in this way anyway, then it becomes, and then obviously we have the soul contract readings that I do anyway as a part of this, and in that she is here to lead spiritual groups and everything. That I'm just taking this as an example, so she knows that. But the format of that would maybe be, she would know what kind of group of people she was working with. She would have to work that out. I wouldn't be able to know that. But so it's a combination of it all. And some people just go, right, I just know what I'm going to do. I'm going to work with women to help them activate their inner goddess or something. Like, I'm just saying, but they will just be like, that is what I'm doing. That's what I feel called to. If I feel it in my body everywhere. So now I'm like, okay, good, we'll do that then. Come on, let's go. So it's different for everyone. It's different.
No, I can understand. I mean, I've been doing a lot of light body activations and a lot of energy work lately. How did you go from, this experience of 23 and finding, this whole new spiritual world to actually beginning the light body activations and beginning the energy work on other people? What was that process like?
So my first block was confidence. Not so much confidence in my as a person, but confidence as a healer. That was my biggest one. How can I do this? It's only special people who can do that. Do I have the gift? So that was my block. So I learned. I'm trained in a few different things, but the main ones are the divine healing that I do. soul contract readings, and then the light body activations. So those three combined together gives really good, so like the divine healing clears the psyche, the subconscious, the energy, the hormones and everything. The light body activation is a very specific tool for awakening, removing devices and crystals and things like that, and implants, and then activating high light. And then the soul contract is the numerology of the path, of the soul path. So those three together becomes really powerful tools. So as soon as I had trained in those things, I felt very equipped to do the work that I do today. Prior to that, I felt like, I was doing massage. I was a physical therapist, so it didn't feel like I had a psychological or kind of the counseling side, or not even that, like the coaching side of things. I didn't have that, or the specific energy healing method, although I felt like I was doing it when I was massaging. I just didn't have anything on paper, or it just felt like, I need some more tools. So once I had those tools, that was it. I could not be stopped, because I was like, right, this is what I'm doing. You just have to find your thing, I think. So for some people, it's like they like doing maybe hypnotherapy or NLP or some other healing, or some there's lots of quantum like healings, there's lots of theta healing, there's lots of different healings, isn't it? So as soon as you find your thing, then I think it's like, yeah, I'm going to do it. We just want to work with a commodity, really.
No, that's, I mean, I can really I've been over the last few months, I've really been doing a lot of energy work, and I know how great it can really help everything else, on top of the diet, on top of the exercise, on top of,
Yeah.
the wellness and normal care routine. What would you say to somebody that's on the fence, that doesn't really understand, that may be coming from the more traditional, yeah, I can go get a massage and I can see the benefit, but I'm not sure about a light body activation or Reiki healing or some kind of
Yeah.
energetic working. How can this really benefit me?
So if you think of energy as everything is energy anyway, this chair I'm sitting in here, and everything is energy. So even if somebody's on the fence and can say, okay, well, I can understand this quantum physics. If they go and look at some scientific programs, they will understand that everything is energy.
Yeah.
Now, if you think of the body, and then you have like the extensive field of the aura and the energy bodies around, an electromagnetic field around the body, they can read, with scientific tools, that pattern or the flow of energy is changing depending on how your emotions are, what kind of food you're eating, and all those things. So an energy healer like myself, I work on those fields, and I work with the chakras, and I actually also do surgery with the light body activations, which means that things that are hidden, for example, past life trauma, let's say if somebody has been hanged or quartered or something horrible in past life, there could be still in the DNA some pain ancestrally, like in the past, and that can be also healed. I know that's like a bit out there, but it is often that. And the thing with energy healing as well, if somebody has problem in relationships with people in this life here, the relationship they have will, if it's a problematic one or really karmic and it's locked in or really toxic, often they have unresolved stuff in past lives. So then I go and heal the past life stuff, and then they can release easy. So it's like, or even come to some sort of agreement where they're just relaxed, with it. So if somebody is on the fence, well, if you think of they're dreaming and they're traveling in their dream, that's exactly the same thing with energy healing. Like, you can take someone to any place it's just a consciousness. It's a consciousness, traveling of the consciousness, really. You can go forward or backwards in time. You can work with the energy here and the body, the energy bodies, the chakras. I mean, if somebody could film with like one of those cameras that can see the energy fields, if somebody has healing on the heart or healing, you know, maybe in the sacral or so wherever, you could see how the energy has changed after the healing, how it's like whole or, you know, more sort of like robust. You can see it. That's all I can say, really.
No,
You've
that's
got to feel it. People
no,
got to feel it. They've
that's
got to feel it.
it is. It's hard to explain, you know, and like I said, I can definitely attest to the benefits of energy work, you know, and I think
Right.
unfortunately it's something that's so neglected because, as you said, the people haven't seen the pictures, people haven't seen, you know, the actual physical benefits. So a lot of times it just gets dismissed. But I think you're missing a big part of your care routine if you're not including these things, you know,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, I mean, it's the same thing when people find out about massages, you know, a lot of people think, you know, you have to be an athlete or some kind of sports professional to go get massages on a regular basis, but the average person doesn't necessarily know that this is so therapeutic for anybody, you know, just to
Oh,
keep
God, it's
yourself
so
in
good.
balance. And
Yeah.
so it's like, if I can get people to understand that energetic work is the same thing, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
part of the
yeah.
exactly part of the maintenance care. I know one of the things you talked about is past life traumas. When, you know, when do you know if the things that are appearing in your life are just your normal everyday problems or if they are due to past karmas and past lives, and how can you start to examine the situation?
Often when people can't put their finger on it, let's say somebody says, oh, how should I say it? Something simple. Let's say something simple. Let's say you have fear of water. And there is no reason, because you never was dropped in water, or your parents can guarantee that you never had trauma in water when you were a child. You simply are scared. You just don't know why. That would be a past life drowning trauma, or somebody have drowned, killed you through drowning you, or something like that. Because that is what your body is remembering, but you can't remember it, because you can't remember your past life unless you do regressions and healings and sort of go there together with the healer. But that's the reason. 100%. So once that's healed and fixed, I did it on a dog the other day, actually. I was healing distantly on a dog, one of my clients who wanted me to do some work on the dog. And so she hadn't told me about the water, but that actually was water in this case. I did a really strong healing on past life on him, for this dog, about water and being afraid of water and stuff like that. So that was particularly that. So anyway, I was writing back to her after the session with all the notes, and I was saying, you know, Billy, I don't know what it is, but in this healing that I was doing on him, Billy's really, really tight and tensed around water. So I did a past life clearing, and I was just explained what I did. And she's like, I've never told you that he's terrified of water. I was like, no, but spirit tells me what he's scared of. So we did that. And then since then, he's relaxed. He walks next to the river. He's fine. He hasn't gone in the water, but he's fine.
Wow, that's
So
really interesting.
yeah. So poor little doggy, but he's okay now. So
And what is typically, I mean, how many sessions does it take to actually begin to see the benefits from something like that? I know sometimes more people are more receptive to it than others, obviously, but for the average person, I mean, that may not have any experience with these sort of things, or maybe just have a little experience but is interested in it. What does the timeline look like, or how many sessions does it usually appear until someone starts seeing progress?
you could see progress after 1 or 2 sessions, like actually really see real progress of a specific issue. But I almost recommend if somebody starts having sessions and they like, they want to fix themselves basically, depending on their goal, I would say, what, 12 sessions or something like that. But it depends on what their goal is. If their goal is to heal, I don't know, their post-surgery something, or just heal some trauma with their mother, then maybe they don't need 12 sessions for that. But it depends on what their goal is. So if the goal is to become the clearest instrument of healing, because they want to do healing themselves, well, then it's a lifelong commitment of clearings. I have clearings all the time, every 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
I have one tomorrow. I don't always do them on myself. I have other people doing it for me, but it's something I will do as long as I live. So it depends on how it's like, some people go to restaurants all the time, or some people, I don't know, do something else all the time, go and watch games, or, buy tickets to concerts all the time because they just like doing that. I have energy clearings and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Because I want to be the best me, so I'm committed.
I agree.
The lay person, I would say, if you are wanting to heal something, you'd have to discuss it and say, do a specific plan for that. If somebody is a conscious entrepreneur or somebody who actually wants to do this for themselves, it's a lifelong commitment. Like you would go and do your yoga. You wouldn't say, oh, I'm going to do yoga now for 12 times and then that's it, I'm done. You're going to do it for forever, probably.
Yes. No, I can agree. I would agree with that. I think I would definitely say the same. It's a lifelong process for me, and I continue to
Yeah.
get energetic work done.
And you
Forever.
try different things, maybe, like, I have one lady who is very shamanic in herself and very strong healer. We swap sessions. Then I have my mentor. She's a shaman, but she doesn't do energy healing on me. She would do very deep shamanic journeys together. Then I have another mentor, and he will do some other energy clearings and things for me. Like, not all the time, but like I have different things. And then if I find somebody that I think, oh, they sound really interesting, I'll try that. Then I will. If I don't feel it, then I won't go for it. But I'll just go on my feelings. Well, what feels good? Yeah.
No, it's always good to explore what resonates with you. I think.
Yeah, it needs to resonate.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the best ways to find your calling or find what you're supposed to be doing. Just
Yeah.
the things that naturally resonate.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah. I mean, every single client that will come or that wants to sign up or something, they just soul clients. I call them soul clients because they just come. They just know, they feel it, they want to do it, they're like excited. It's always like good, feels good for both of us. So that's how I work. Like, I just really work with soul clients that just feel excited about working together.
That's exciting.
It's exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because then it's like, oh wow, I feel good about this. I'm excited about learning. Yeah.
No, that's beautiful. Well, is there anything else you wanted to share with the community, or anything else you think the women could take away from it?
Well, if anyone is wondering, like, what do I do? What's the best thing, etc., etc., I would just say just try different things. Just go and like get some freebies at different places, get some free, just trials on something. Go and have a couple of sessions of something. Just try lots of different things, and then you'll just find things that resonate, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. This is what I'm going to do. So yeah, just keep your mind and your body open to different ways of bettering yourself, and try. That's what I'd say. I mean, I can share some free stuff that I do, but I'll wait for you to ask about that, because I don't know what your process is here in this program.
No, that's, I mean, wait, I mean, could you share some of your process, some of your personal process?
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to try, so I do divine healing. That's like the main multi-dimensional clearing tool that I use. And anyone who wants like a free, go, I have on my website, which is gennyllion.love. So GENNYE lion.love. If you go onto the website, there is you can sign up to a free energy course and a clearing as well. So if you just put your email address in, you'll get this energy clearing and this like a little mini course. So you could try that. If anyone have any other questions, you can just contact me directly. I have a membership as well, which is like a feast of things in there. It's like $30 a month. Energy clearings, meditations, like you can dive in there and just like indulge. So that I opened that last year, and it's been like epic, because people can just, with no risk really, just go in and just feast on all these things and then decide what they enjoy most, and they can leave any time. It's like, so if somebody's like, yeah, I want to try now loads, then you could jump into the membership. It's £22 a month, so that's like $28 or something a month. Yeah.
Well, that's perfect. Definitely, I would recommend check it out. It's a great place to start to get your energetic work and get your feet wet.
Yeah. Basically, it works like a gym membership. Just go in there and just go feast on the different things.
That's perfect. Well, I appreciate you stopping by today, Genny, and I definitely
Thank you.
appreciate all the tips that you shared with our viewers. I think these will be very informational, and they can stop by and start their energy work and start their process of healing.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. You have a great day, Genny.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So casually keep diving into concrete. So bittersweet. Huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me?